the clients you have who are in their 20s,
Hmm.
I'm assuming people begin therapy usually in the mid to late 20s. Okay, that's right.
20 to 30.
All right.
Yeah.
What are the concerns like? And what's happening wrong, especially when you compare to the older generations?
Two very different people date, and the expectation or the theme or the blueprint that's laid out is that I'm going to help this person change, and then getting so involved and so stuck that you also lose your sense of identity, you know like in hope is a very toxic drug, and it's interesting to talk about these very positive concepts in this connotation, but it's very important that too much of anything can be a bad thing.
A lot of my guy friends my age
Mhm.
who've dated younger girls
Right.
and now have begun to date people like near our age say that they prefer this much more because the older girls are now kind of closer to us in terms of experience and a lack of hope. Almost life kind of beats you up into being a little practical.
Yeah.
I'm just narrating, like I'm reeling
No,
information.
it does happen. Everyone has their own journey. So one of the things is that yes, different people sort of end up together, and I'm all for being different, but there needs to be a common ground as well. You can't be 80% different and 20% similar. Okay, 20% different plus 80% similar maybe will work much better for the longevity of a relationship.
What counts as similar? You mean like habits, likes?
Yeah, like there are people who literally have come and spoken about the tiniest, things and issues, and you would not think that in the larger scheme of things that that's a real issue. But it's also the tolerance that you've built up over many, many years, that you've allowed certain things to slip and slide. You've not said it from the beginning. And then people say, oh, but you've changed after we got married. No, I was like this, but
For you,
I did
was
not communicate. And maybe that is my fault now that I realize it, that I should have said it to you. It could be as small as toothpaste यहाँ से निकलता है, यहाँ से नहीं निकालता है. Or like, she did this like this instead of this like that. And they are very petty. But the culmination of, tolerating a lot of little things, then everything getting encashed at one point, that is a very big problem.
I'd probably like to highlight one life hack I saw on the internet. It was on a reel. Someone said that ideally in your relationship, try finding someone who has fun doing the same thing that you have fun doing. So if your fun activities are common, chances are it'll work.
Yeah, that's one of the very that is a major hack. Like for, let's say, couples that have floated away from each other, and to sort of bring them back closer, that common ground works very well.
What are some activities like this? Hiking,
Watching movies, plays. Go back to the time when you used to date. What were the things that you did that worked? Maybe that's something that you need to sort of revisit. That's very important. The work did not stop there. It has to sort of continue. There's also the concept of love bombing, right? I will love you intensely at one point with all my heart and soul and everything together, and then sort of then step back. And you're like, what happened? So be mindful. I won't say be practical. I'll say be mindful.
Is this love bombing thing very common?
People don't talk about it too much, but it is there. Like when you see a lot of couples, you will see that there was an intense amount of love bombing in the beginning, and then हाँ ठीक है ना, हो गया ना, now let's move on in life. Now we are married, so we can just carry on with life. And then that's where the disparity sort of kicks in. that what happened? This was like this. How did this happen? I signed up for this. I did not sign up for this.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about people in their 20s?
Same thing for everybody, actually. Don't think your partner knows. Don't have this assumption. You might have to tell them.
You know, this has been a problem for me with some of the people I've dated, that and this, it's something I'm trying to work on over time. But 2-3 of my serious relationships have requested me to know things without them mentioning, and then I say that please say it. If you want this, I'll do it. But they don't agree to that.
Yeah, they don't, because
you're supposed to know.
You're supposed to know. How can you not know? But you love me. Does this mean you don't love me? Is this real love? Oh my God, is this real love? If you don't know what I want, then is this real? Right? And a perfectly good relationship could go down the drain. So it's okay to meet people in the middle. It's okay to tell. That being said, you shouldn't become a parent and have to tell the other person every time what you want. That's also very exhausting.
No, I wasn't that bad as a boyfriend.
No, like it could be for anyone, right? Like, you don't want to become a parent in your own relationship and say, okay, now today again, is it ticked off? It's not, it shouldn't be on a to-do list.
No, I hear you. And I feel this whole EQ education, relationship education is very important for our generation. We were talking about how moral science and ethics was the most important subject that we didn't pay attention to in school.
Oh, yes.
I feel this is one of those other modern day subjects. While we're talking about the future of education and learning AI and entrepreneurship, I feel life is also so much about your relationships. And if you are a romantic, it's so much about your romantic relationship and working on it. You're going to spend so much of your life. You're going to sleep next to that person. You're going to, experience trauma with that person. So people need to learn how to be better relationshipers.
They do. They definitely do. And I'm a huge believer that most things start with education, basic education. You start from school, whether it is, topics like mental health, psychology, value education. Like a lot of people my age right now, we are struggling with our parents growing old. Different kind of love. You really have to be at a different level to love the same parents, because they are changing. They're not the same person. So that is very difficult. We always are like, okay, everyone talks about bringing up kids. Can someone please make a manual on what to do when your parents grow old? Because no one prepares you for that. And essentially that topic of value education, that topic of moral sciences, ethics, values, that one free period that we used to have, we called happy period because we used to do nothing at that point, unfortunately. Those were made for this. Those life skill periods were actually made for this.
What do you have to learn about that? Like taking care of your parents? What does it actually entail?
Oh, at a very, very deep level, when people change and change drastically, right? And I saw this on David Letterman's show, and he said something very beautiful and heartbreaking in the same breath. He said, I still go visit my mom. She's 90 years old, but I don't recognize her. I don't know this woman that I'm visiting. All right? And that is a death of a personality that you've known for very, very long. You don't know what to do with this new person. You don't know when you had to grow up, and you don't know when you had to become a parent. So that's very hard. That is why a lot of people say, get married early, have babies early, finish it off all early, so that when you are, let's say, 60, your parents are 85, catching 25, that you have a baby. And there's a lot of peace over there. At 60, if your parents go, for example, you feel like, okay, lived well, live good, can deal with it, amazing. Whereas when you have children much, much older, the journey is very difficult, right from like conceiving to, bringing up kids. The older you become, the harder it is. It is hard.
The flip side of this get married early is that, and I see this with so many of my friends, they're rushing into marriages because of societal pressure.
Yes, it's become a tick box. It has become a tick box. It's like, okay, time up, ho gaya. Like before 30, need to do this. And then they just settle, which is very scary.
What does settle mean?
Means maybe you've just settled with the best thing that you could get at that point in time, or you have convinced yourself that this is the best I can do now. Before 30, if I want to get married, it's not going to get better than this.
I'll tell you one more very harami angle that an older guy told me, and I don't know how true this is, but honestly my experience, I think I'm starting to see that there might be some truth in it. So he said, for many people, if you play the game right, the longer you wait, the hotter you date, or the better you date, which is turning out to be true for a lot of my friends as well. Like their partners at this point are much better than previous partners and keeps getting better.
Yeah, you can look at the flip side that I do have a bunch of friends who are older, who are dating older for sure, and they are loving it. They were like,
yeah,
we waited, and while they waited, they were whining, but it's okay. They were like, it totally paid off.
Yeah.
It totally paid off, because what I have now, I would like not trade in for anything. And this is the one, and I am sure of it.
What do they have now?
A lot of clarity, a lot of focus, a lot of independence. There's an interesting sort of, again, Instagram reels, right? Some things are very educational. You have the A person and the H person, right? So the A people are constantly like dependent on each other. Now imagine if this goes away, right? But the H people continue standing. The connection can go away in the H, but they're still left standing. You yourself also are very secure in your skin by the time you reach a certain age.
You're okay with being alone.
You're okay with being alone. You're okay in your ways. Some people are extremely touchwood blessed and lucky that they have a great social support system where they don't feel alone.
Because of the friend groups.
Because of their friend groups, because of where they are in life, because of the things that they do, they don't feel the loneliness. From the outside, it could look lonely, but it's actually they really enjoy their solitude. Difference. Loneliness versus solitude. I can be super alone. I can be very happy. It's like if I put you in this room and I let you meditate, you would just be happy. And that's a solitude that you enjoy. Right? So there is a lot of happiness in that solitude. It feels good when you see on the other side, when you think like, oh, my friends are married and they have babies, and when they bring their children home and when they come, they have changed as people. You might not recognize them also. And kids, added to that, we all know kids are not easy. We love children, sure, but we also know there's a crazy hardship into being a parent and bringing somebody up that's a life dependent on you. So you're bringing a different version of yourself in. So lots of changes. Lots of changes.
So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this playlist for more videos just like this. It's TRS Clips.